Jerry, sadly, I've decided to call an end to our marriage. She was lying in bed, nursing a bad case of food poisoning, waiting for her husband to arrive for a summer together in London. Instead, her phone lit up with an email. Cool, businesslike, and just a few dozen words long, it ended a 6.5-year marriage to one of the most powerful media moguls on the planet. In a candid new interview with British Vogue, Jerry Hall has finally spoken openly about exactly how her marriage to Rupert Murdoch really ended and the toll that moment took on her. A wedding that made headlines. Jerry Hall married media tycoon Rupert Murdoch in March 2016 at a ceremony held in a historic Fleet Street church in London. The pairing raised eyebrows at the time. Hall, the Texas-born former supermodel, best known for her decades-long relationship with Rolling Stones frontman Mick Jagger, marrying Murdoch, the billionaire founder of News Corporation, at 91. At their wedding, Murdoch reportedly declared himself the happiest man in the world. For 6.5 years, by most public appearances, the marriage seemed steady. The couple were seen together at Murdoch's 90th birthday celebrations in New York, appearing, according to guests, as close as ever. The email, according to Hall's own account, shared with British Vogue, the end came without warning. She was recovering from a bout of food poisoning at her London home. Expecting Murdoch to join her for the summer, when an email arrived instead. The message was short and unmistakably final. Murdoch wrote that he had, sadly, decided to call an end to their marriage. He acknowledged they'd had good times together, but said he had much to do, and that his New York lawyer would be contacting hers immediately. There was no phone call, no conversation. Just a brief, formal message delivered while Hall was physically unwell and entirely unprepared for what it contained. Hall has since described splits like this one simply as always traumatic, a word that in this context feels carefully understated. Hall filed for divorce in a California court that same summer, citing irreconcilable differences. The divorce was finalized in 2022, and one of its more unusual conditions barred Hall from providing any story ideas to the creators of the television series Succession, a show widely understood to have drawn inspiration from Murdoch and his family. Reports at the time also described a difficult, closely managed process as Hall packed up her belongings from the couple's Bel Air estate, with security reportedly overseeing the move and Hall having to show receipts to confirm which items were hers. In her interview with Vogue, Hall confirmed she hasn't seen Murdoch at all since the divorce, not once, in the years since it was finalized. A different kind of family, held together without him. Hall was candid in the interview about why this particular split felt different from earlier heartbreaks in her life. She and Murdoch had no children together during their marriage, which she suggested made staying close afterwards less of a natural necessity. As she put it, not every ex-partner becomes a friend. Some people simply aren't friendly, though she believes it matters more to remain close when children are involved. That's precisely the dynamic she's maintained with Mick Jagger, with whom she shares 4 children, daughters Elizabeth and Georgia May, and sons James and Gabriel. Despite their own relationship ending decades ago after Jagger fathered a child with Brazilian model Luciana Jimenez, Hall has spoken warmly about their ongoing connection, describing Jagger as a great diplomat and a devoted grandfather who visits often, with all the children, and even all the children's mothers, remaining close. What Jerry Hall's interview really reveals isn't just how a high-profile marriage ended, it's the contrast between 2 very different kinds of family. One built with Murdoch, ended in a brief, cold email and years of complete silence since. The other, built imperfectly with Jagger decades earlier, has somehow held together with genuine warmth long after the romance itself faded. Sometimes the families that last aren't the ones built on the grandest weddings, they're the ones built on the people willing to stay kind to each other, long after everything else has changed.